What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Tim and Mike Show. A show that talks about movies, TV shows, things we're watching right now, things that are in the theater, things that we've watched before when we were younger that we want to suggest that you watch. And we do it all right here on YouTube. So if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please go down and like and subscribe and help us out just by sharing our fun and love.
Mosquito.
See? If this...
I
might edit that out, but I'm not going to, people.
I didn't get it.
Fun.
I might
You
have to
didn't get it. It's not a fly. But anyways... But yeah, so if you like and subscribe down there, and we will be able to be shared around the world. So let's do this, man. Another episode 15. So how's it going,
16.
Mike?
This is actually episode 17 because there's one in the works.
There's one in the edit right now, but that's
I guess 14. No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry because
that's episode 14.
Two of those are shorts, so.
Yeah, two of those are shorts. So what's up, man? How's it going?
Good. It's going good. Yeah.
Good. Life's good. Life's treating you the way it should.
Yeah. I had to work late last night.
Yeah. So what's up with that?
Going digital. Going digital on our.
Bro, just going digital. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. I was coming up with
digital world, man.
A booklet on how to digitize our claims. So it took me a few hours.
So are you just digitizing records? Just converting?
Yeah, it's like basically taking PDFs and converting them to files in OneNote. So basically building a claim folder that we currently have as paper that can become, 3 or 4 thick files that big by the end of a claim, depending on the severity.
So they're already PDFs? All that in. Or are they, I'm not following. So they're already PDFs, or they
come as PDFs, but we print them out and build a paper file. So now we have a specific format already for the paper. So now we've converted that exact format onto OneNote, built a file, and now I'm writing a book or helping write a booklet to teach everyone how to basically put those PDFs into OneNote.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not complicated. I don't need a booklet, but some of the people do, so that's what we're currently doing.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Like it's cool using it. I don't have to get up and go to the printer every 5 minutes. So.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so should have been done a while back. So it's getting done now.
That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah, so I was up working till 9 or so. From the second I got home, I got on my laptop.
Oh wow, yeah, that's the life I live, man. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
because
you had to do screenshots and different things, and then write instructions, and so it's time consuming.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely.
Not hard,
so you're building a job aid, is what you're doing.
Basically, yeah, for new employees or older employees who are not as technologically savvy. So I never had an issue with it. The first time I did it, I knew how to do it, so it's not difficult. But we're using Bluebeam as our PDF formatter, and so you can rearrange documents in there, delete documents, build a giant PDF file for printing if you had to print, or to send to the lawyers or carrier, So let's say you had 30 doctor's visits, and they're all on separate PDFs. You could build one giant PDF to house all those and send that in one file. So nothing to it, but it's just, like you said, a job aid.
Yeah, it's just a job aid.
Future employees or, current.
And it's mostly text based and low resolution images, or.
I mean, just screenshots. So it looks exactly like. So that's the other thing, just picking the proper screenshot, and it's got to have the certain tabs that we've created in the shot, and
Mm-hmm.
different things like that, and then combining. So there's different sections. So it's all different screenshots. It's just time consuming. Nothing crazy.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome, man. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I've been working on pictures constantly. I feel like the entire time I've been kind of working on it, we're doing it. I don't know. It's up now, so there's a new edit. Obviously, there's a new kind of framework we're building with now, and trying to move into the future with the show, making it a little easier for us to edit. So I've been putting that together.
We're gonna be out in the woods mostly.
Huh?
Mostly, we're gonna be out in the woods.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of woods involved. Mike found the background option in Skype. We've moved over to Skype from Zoom, and you're using OBS Studio to stream us all. But
We're actually outside in a pavilion.
yeah, this is actually a virtual background
I
in
took
each
it
of
off.
our different places, but we're actually outside
It's probably still on
using
yours.
virtual backgrounds of our own homes.
I took mine off. Is it still on yours?
Yeah, no, it's not there. I can see you.
Okay.
We've also found that OBS Studio doesn't like virtual backgrounds, and so you know that goes.
So you won't see.
But yeah, man, I've
you won't
been
even know
getting
what
this
we're
stuff
talking
ready.
about.
I've been working on this stuff. I've been working on a few labels today. It's always a pain being out of the office. It's like it's just a pain. So I had to do a lot of it's just a pain. And apparently, I finally got some stuff done, and I was trying to print it out on my printer, so I remoted in to my printer, and as soon as I started printing it, the power goes out at the office. So,
Nice.
a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get that eventually. I'm sure the power will be back on tomorrow, and I can remote in and do that. But yeah, man, that's about all I've been doing. Taking care of a dog who is. I mean, he's very puppy-like today. He's been very, very needy, but not like doing what he needs to do when he's out there. Like when we're going for walks, he's not really doing the right things. So now he's kind of whimpering, saying, "Oh, I wish I'd gone to the bathroom." Well, I wish you had too. But whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. What we're here for, okay? What'd you watch this week, man? You had any suggestions for these fine people out there in YouTube land?
Well, I watched an older movie the other day
Okay.
called Snitch with The Rock.
That movie is freaking underrated and awesome.
Yeah, I like it. It's about a construction worker whose kid I guess he's asked to, I guess one of his buddies is busted and needs someone. They're asking him to snitch on somebody, and he doesn't obviously know anybody, so he decides to set up his friend, and his friend gets a box of ecstasy delivered to him, and then the FBI beat down his door. So The Rock ends up having to cut a deal with, I guess she's the district attorney, I'm guessing, and she's Susan Sarandon. Barry Pepper's in it as well. He's one of the cops, and so The Rock has to go undercover into, John Barenthal's in it too. And so John
Bernthal. So yeah, he's been popping up lately.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff I've been
he's
watching.
working for The Rock. He's an ex-con, so The Rock knows that John Barenthal's an ex-con, so he approaches him and says, can you hook me up with, some of your people, and I'll give you some money for this. And so he ends up getting in with the cartel, and hijinks ensue, and just to get his son out of prison. So he becomes basically an informant for the DA to go after.
Yeah, man, it's a good movie. It's a movie that's in that string of the Rock movies, right? That nobody really took him seriously yet.
Yeah.
So like there's some really underrated movies in there, like The Rundown is a really good movie that's underrated.
Right.
But it didn't get anything because everybody thought, oh, here's this wrestler that's going to come and be an actor now.
Right, yeah. He came out within this time period of two or three movies like that. So
And they're all pretty substantial.
So yeah, it's got
Good movies.
John Barenthal, Susan Sarandon, Barry Pepper, and The Rock.
All right, man, that's a good movie. Yeah, that's a good watch, bro.
Yeah,
Okay, what else did you watch?
looks like David Harbour's in that too. Benjamin Bratt.
What?
Yeah.
David Harbour's in that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he plays. Well, I don't know who he plays. But I watched it a while back.
David Harbour and Snitch.
Yeah.
Snitch.
Yeah. I'm looking at his IMDb movie list,
He plays a lawyer or something, right? Or maybe he plays somebody official. I see him in a suit.
Yeah.
I see John Bernthal.
Yeah, John Barenthal is an ex-con who. Oh, and you know who else is in it? He's passed away now, but Michael Kenneth Williams from Omar from.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy that hooks up with. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, Benjamin Bratt, I think, is the cartel leader or whatever, and
okay,
yeah, the guy from The Wire is who hooks him up with him, and so John Barenthal hooks him up with Michael White, whatever his name is, Michael Kenneth Williams. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. Then,
yeah, I remember it being a really good movie, and again, super underrated.
yeah.
All right, right on. What you watch? What else did you watch?
I watched Secret Headquarters with Owen Wilson. It's a kids movie.
Yeah, so that's a superhero movie, right? Okay.
Yeah, so he is out camping with his wife and his son, and a U.S. Air Force jet crashes in the middle of the woods where they're camping, and he goes out there to investigate. And so I guess what happened is the jet collides with a spacecraft, and on this particular spacecraft is basically this. I don't know if it's an alien. It's this ball that basically creates, and it chooses Owen Wilson to be its protector, and it gives him basically it builds him a secret layer and gives him powers. Builds a suit for him. It can build things. It can 3D print basically.
Okay.
But it also shows vision, so it'll show destruction and so in the wrong hands, obviously this is very powerful object. And so this particular movie has Owen Wilson in it, which he's not in it as much as you would think. There's also got Michael Pena, who plays a technologically, so he'd be like your Elon Musk that finds out about this ball and is just went straight evil trying to get it. So he hires the Air Force pilot that was in the opening scene, who was bypassed for this power because he had bad intentions, I guess, and this ball could sense that. So it chose Owen Wilson over him, and so he spent the last 10 years looking for this. And so Owen Wilson.
Meanwhile, Owen Wilson's been a superhero.
Yeah, so he's saving everybody all over the planet, and his kid and his wife divorces him because he's never around, and his kid never gets to see him, but he doesn't know why. He thinks it's just because of work. And so the movie is a kid's movie. Basically, this kid is at Owen Wilson, his dad's house for his birthday, and he's got to go save the world. So he leaves. Kid's supposed to go home with his mom, but he doesn't. He stays there and throws a little tiny party because they're really young. And they end up finding his secret lair and sending a signal to Michael Pena, bad guy, who's been looking for a signal. But the ball helps keep that secret. But since it's not Owen Wilson messing with this stuff, the kid accidentally sends out signals and they come after them. So that's basically the movie. The kids fighting Michael Pena and a group of black ops people trying to get this ball, this energy source.
That sounds
great movie for
kids.
Good.
It's got some rough reviews. I'll be honest with you.
It's
got some rough reviews, but
yeah.
It sounds fun enough. Right?
Yeah, I mean it reminds me. It reminds me of the spy show that Robert Rodriguez, Lava Girl, and the spy movies that he did with two players.
Oh yeah, okay. The Spy Kids
Spy
or something
Kids.
like that.
Yes, kind of like that. It's for kids. It's a kids movie. So if you have younger
So
kids,
are you so is it a recommendation for you or?
well, I mean, if you have kids, yeah, for sure, you should watch it with your kids, definitely. So, but I mean, it's not horrible, but it's mostly kids. It's got the kid from Adam Project
Okay.
with Ryan Reynolds, and it's got one of the kids from The Good Boys, which is a good movie, even if you don't have kids. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Thanks for the recommendation on that one. What do you got next for us?
Next, I finished up. I had been watching this for a while, but I finished up season 2 of Only Murders in the Building with
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Martin Short and Steve Martin back together again. Now, for you kids out there, that's a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Of old,
and they're great. The show's great. It's comedy, but it's not like over the top comedy. Selena Gomez, I like her in that. She's got kind of a dry humor. In the show, and kind of.
So she's playing it off then, right? It's working for her because Selena Gomez is a singer normally, right? So
yeah. I think she's been in a couple movies, but
has she? Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but no, she does good. They're good in it.
I'm a boomer.
But it's not like sitcom comedy. It's comedy, but it's not. I wouldn't call it sitcom comedy.
Is it dark?
Well, I mean, at times, yeah, because it's about. Have you seen any of it?
Yeah, I saw the first season.
So the first season leaves off with the landlady getting murdered.
Yeah.
And that leads into the second season.
Okay.
So, and actually, it looks like they're going to do a third season. I don't want to tell anybody anything, but Paul Rudd makes an appearance in the last episode. So,
Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd. He's a good actor. Rudd.
So, yeah, I mean, I liked the end of season 2. I thought it was, I mean, it's good. It's like, I think they're 40-minute episodes.
They were in the first season, yeah. They were like right at 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, so they're not a full hour. So it's a good who done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the fun thing about it. It was like it had the caper vibe,
right? Yeah.
And because they're all the reason they all gang up together is because they're all into the same true crime podcast.
Right. They like the same. And ran by what's her name again from Saturday Night Live.
No, I don't remember.
Well, it'd be Amy Poehler's friend. What's her name? They always
Tina Fey.
Tammy. Tina Fey. Tina Fey. Yeah. Tina Fey is the podcaster that they like.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he wants to start a podcast. It's basically those two guys. One is a producer for like Broadway stuff, and the other one is an actor. And Selena Gomez is just a younger person renting space with no job. She's living in her aunt's condo.
Yeah, they renovated.
Yeah, that they're renovating. Yeah, so she's just kind of just there, so she doesn't have anything to do. So that's how they kind of get in with each other, So and then the murder takes place in the building. It's very cool. It's very cool. Season 2 is really cool because you find out more things about the building.
Okay,
it's a pretty cool.
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, I definitely like season 1. I just haven't been around to watch season 2 yet. So yeah, man, that's awesome. So that's a recommendation for you there too.
Oh yeah, I'll recommend that one just because it's got a little bit of everything in there. It's got the mystery, the comedy, and like I said, it's not your typical sitcom, like cheesy. It's got some pretty good humor. I mean, it's Steve Martin and Martin Short, so I mean, come on.
Sure, you can't beat that duo.
No.
Well, I'll get what I watched. So last week we talked about the Woodstock '99 documentary that we talked about our generation being so crappy. Well, I watched a documentary that I think this guy is a kind of a newer millennial type kid, but I watched The Most Hated Man on the Internet. This guy's a true dirtbag.
Yeah.
This is the guy that started that Are You Up? Is Anybody Up website, the revenge porn, all that stuff, and would give would put pictures of women who maybe had sent intimate pictures to somebody, or anyways, it's this whole story about how his rise, doing the worst thing you could probably do in the world, and then also his fall. So it's a really interesting 3-part documentary. It's this horrible person, and you don't want to watch this thing because it's like, ugh, but then it turns into this really great hero story of a mother of one of the victims, a Marine who has like cybersecurity credentials out the wazoo, and the FBI. And it's really great, totally worth the watch, because it's one of those happy ending stories. The bad guy goes away, and
one of the victims, meaning somebody who ended up on his website.
Yeah. So I say somebody
naked photos.
Which is so the idea of sending someone intimate photos and then posting it.
That's just shitty.
It's a shitty thing to do.
So that's on the boyfriend or the significant other as well.
Well, that's where the story goes. And this is how the FBI got him, because they ended up finding out that some of these photos were never sent to anybody, and they were stealing. He was hacking.
Oh,
and so that's how the FBI got involved too.
Some of that celebrity stuff that was going on. All those
not ladies just that, just normal people too. Like there's this girl who had taken some picture of herself for herself, and she didn't want to save them on her phone, so she emailed them to herself. And somebody hacked her email. And so that's where the crime came in, because none of this stuff was really a crime. The thing about this guy is he wasn't just posting these things; he was also posting links to their Facebook pages.
So getting it's like real detailed personal lives.
Yeah, so that incited this crazy cyberbullying thing that was happening alongside it. People would see these pictures and go on their Facebook and call these people whores and all these horrible things. And so
where's that?
It's a despicable human being, but at the end of it, you're like, there's a great hero story, and the narrative on that end is really good. It's
where
really
can you watch that?
Huh?
Where can you watch that at?
That's on Netflix.
Okay, I think I saw that. Yeah. I think I saw that.
Yeah. It's a Netflix.
Most hated man on the internet.
On the internet, yeah.
So he's in prison now, I'm guessing.
I don't remember. I think he's out, but I think he's broke.
Okay.
Like he can never do anything like that again. So, but
cautionary tale: beware.
Beware
of that digital information.
100%. So then I was whilst working at home, I tend to watch stuff, and I watched Parks and Rec again for like the 9 millionth time.
Yes,
but I bring it up because it is a great show. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever watched it. Do yourself a favor. It watches really easy. It's 7 seasons. It's hilarious. It's touching. It's a great show. But the reason I bring it up is that series finale might be the strongest series finale that I've ever watched. When I watch a series finale, like Cheers, the Cheers series finale when I was a kid, hits home, because it just says, "Sorry, we're closed," right? And it rolls credits. The Friends season finale was tough. Seinfeld was the worst series finale of history, but it's so bad.
Because there's something about a series finale and a show that you really connect with when they actually know that they're going to end the show that season.
Yes.
And from that show, for sure, they knew it and they planned it well.
Yeah, they planned it well. Mm-hmm. Well, and unlike a lot of series finales, because those shows don't do this, they give you each of your favorite characters a glimpse into their futures.
Yeah.
Right? So without having the feeling of, man, I really wonder what happens to these characters next. Like that, Parks and Rec answers that question for you.
Yeah, no, that's a great season finale or series finale.
Yeah, so it's really wonderful. It's a great show. It's, it's hilarious. You're gonna relate to. It's one of those really great.
It's got an office vibe to it too.
Yeah,
like a documentary style.
Right. It's in that same vein as The Office. Right. It's that.
Another show if you have time constraints, perfect to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 and digestible episodes, 23-minute episodes.
Yeah.
I like putting sitcoms on like that because I can, if I have a little extra time, that I can just kind of sit down and watch something. I have 23 minutes.
Right.
Perfect. Right.
Yeah, and that's another one you can kind of just, much like The Office, that you can just kind of put it on any point in time.
Yeah.
Throughout any season.
I do like to watch it chronologically, but you're absolutely right. If you throw an episode on, you're not going to be disappointed.
I mean, it is chronological, like The Office is, but freaking mosquito.
These mosquitoes, man.
How did we get in here? It's gonna bite me.
You got a hole in your apartment.
There's just one that's gonna bite me all night. No.
It's gonna bite your face.
Thing is, I don't know what goes on here when I'm not home. Michael could have the damn door open all day. Who knows?
So then I also watched. Well, I guess I shouldn't talk about Parks and Recs. We'll talk about the other one next week. But I did watch House of the Dragon this week.
Yeah.
The Game of Thrones prequel. It escalated very quickly. It just went hot.
Really?
It came in real hot. You had dragons. You had everything that you love about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, dragons right off the bat.
Oh, right off the bat. You had violence, sex, all the Game of Thrones stuff that you love, the tropes that you love. And I felt like it was a really well delivered package. I felt like if you compare the two pilot episodes, Game of Thrones and House of Dragon, the House of Dragon pilot episode is better than Game of Thrones pilot episode. Pilot episode. I don't want to be handed upon the internet for saying it's better, but as far as episode 1, if you took, I remember watching episode 1, and you and I were both fans of the books long before that, but
yeah,
I remember watching episode 1 and being like, it's kind of, it's kind of boring, and but House of the Dragon was not that. It was exciting. It was fun. It had everything you really wanted. It was kind of a great pilot episode, man. Like I said, they came in hot. They didn't pull punches, and they let the show. They established the show really well. I'm excited for the second episode.
So it takes place 175 years before.
Yeah. So I think that's the actual estimate. I know the synopsis says roughly 200 years, but
yeah, I think that's what the writing said. I watched the first 5 minutes, and one thing that stood out to me was that the older sister was next in line that they gave to the brother, and I thought that was a pretty good throwback to, fast forward where she ends up being on the Iron Throne, as a woman.
Yeah. So the prologue, that whole prologue, it's really good.
Yeah. I gotta catch it. I watched her flying through the air on a dragon. I thought I would never in my life do that. That's so dangerous.
Well, yeah, dragon flying is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
it's you want to be careful when you're doing it. Definitely get certified before you go.
Well, I still think that the safety protocols are in place.
No. There was no straps or anything on that.
You're on a horse style,
saddle. Yeah.
So it's not ideal.
Not ideal at all. It's. Did you get the chance to see? I guess you only watched 5 minutes of it. Did you get a chance to see the redesign of the Iron Throne?
No. Like I said, I just watched the coronation, I guess, and her flying and landing, and that was it. I had to do something, so I had to cut it off.
Okay. Well, visually stunning. One thing that you definitely know when you're watching this show is that you're in Westeros, and the set designs are really good, really familiar, so it's comfortable. And that might have helped the pilot out.
Yeah.
That the fact that you're so comfortable with these areas because you're in King's Landing, so it's like, man, this is awesome. You haven't met a Stark yet. You've met a Baratheon.
Okay.
Very briefly, but nonetheless a Baratheon.
Who's in power in the beginning of Game of Thrones, correct? It's Robert.
Yes, so Robert Baratheon is the king that we are approached with. The father of Joffrey Baratheon.
Right.
But he's not really. It's
the brother.
Oh, the Kingslayer. But anyways, so it was right in the first episode too, wasn't it? Second episode maybe?
I don't remember, but it was.
I think it was the first episode. That's the cliffhanger that kept you going. Was they pushed Bran out of the window?
Yeah, that was so crazy to me about that show. Is we had read that book, the original book, probably 15 years before that show came out, and I had no clue that that's what that was. It was so written so far before that movie came out. But I remember loving that book because of the character development.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is something that they stayed true to. It really didn't fall off until
last season.
Season 6.
Last 2 seasons.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, which they were behind. The books were behind I believe, at that point from what Jared was going to say. I quit reading the books. I think I read the first 2, and he continued on when the shows came out. He started reading them, and I think he was actually ahead of the show. He was either he was ahead of the show, or was he behind the show?
He was ahead of the show.
Yeah, he was ahead of the show, and so I think the last book though was going to not be finished before the show ended, and I think that's where it gets a little bit off as far as the show goes. Like, I definitely did not like the way that ended the series. Side subject, but not a horrible ending, but not for me.
Yeah, it was rushed. They needed another 2 seasons to make that happen. But anyways, House of the Dragon was really good. I enjoyed it. Go out and watch it. I'm sure I'll talk about a little bit of episode 2 next week, but it definitely hit the spots, man. It was what you needed from Westeros for sure. What was I going to say about it? Oh yeah, the Iron Throne redesign is really cool because not only do you have the Iron Throne now, but you have surrounding swords, right? They kind of it kind of encompasses the whole platform the throne sits on. It's really a really good design. So it's hard to say it's a redesign, more of an expansion, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
But really cool, really worth it. Go ahead and watch it. I guess we're going to move on to the movie of the week, guys. Hold on to your butts. This is going to be a fun one. Alrighty, folks. Welcome to the movie of the week. We watched a movie in the theaters. Mike, what movie did you watch for the movie of the week this week?
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, this has been a polarized movie on the internet as far as reviews are going and just general people talking about it. There's a lot of... I think it's weird at this point that DC is allowed to exist and make the atrocities that they are making. But whenever people from Marvel make creative choices about some of the characters that have been pretty successful, the internet loses its damn mind. I don't get it. Like a lot of these people are not loving this movie, man.
What didn't people like?
They don't like the Jane Foster idea. They don't like they're it's the idea like it's the same thing that's going on everywhere. It's the woke idea. They think, oh, you have to have a female Thor, yada yada yada.
Oh, is there none in the comics?
Notwithstanding, that Jane Foster character has been around for 10 years.
Is it in the comics?
Yeah. Okay. She's been around for 10 years. Maybe not 10 years, but like 8 at least 8. Yeah. Maybe 10. It's probably 10. But her as Thor, the mighty Thor, has always been a thing.
Well, so yeah. Well, I didn't mind it.
So, what did you think of the movie, man?
I liked it. I like Christian Bale's character. Kinds of make
Gore.
Adds a little bit of darkness to because relatively comedic movies, Thor movies. He's not the most serious. They're not the most serious of the comic book movies, in my opinion.
Right.
There's a lot of comedy involved. So, and especially with, I think. Was it Tiki Waititi?
Taika Waititi. That's who's at the helm. That's where that
and he did Ragnarok too, correct?
Yeah, he also did Ragnarok, and that's really where you got that whimsical Thor.
Right. Yeah, because I guess you're right. Because I watched the other one, the Dark.
There's Thor, and there's the Dark World.
Dark World one is completely different, especially and the one with the sister too.
Well, the first one, that's Ragnarok. with Hela. It's Rod.
Is
It's
that
Rod.
Ragnarok? So the
Yeah,
Dark World one, then what's the first one? So the
just
Dark World
Thor.
is with the elves, the Dark Elves,
Yeah, that's with the Dark Elves. And then
and
you just had Thor. That one was directed by Kenneth Branagh.
who's the bad guy in the first one?
Loki.
Loki, right? Oh yeah, he
Remember,
goes.
you
Hard.
hated that movie when you see it in the theater because all Anthony Hopkins said at the end was no Loki. Remember how much you hated that?
Yeah,
We went to Studio Movie Grill and watched that.
got it.
You got it? Woo! You heard it here first, folks. He got the mosquito.
God, that's sick.
All right.
It'd be fast.
Like a ninja,
Mosquitoes
man.
these days
Mr.
are all
Miyagi.
hopped up on all God knows what.
Yeah. So you liked the movie. I thought the movie was good. I think it could have. I think timing was a little issue for it. I think pacing was a little bit of an issue for it. But I think it was hilarious. I visually thought it was stunning.
Sure.
I like the approach that Taika takes with Thor. I think the first two movies are trying to be this, let's be modern Thor, let's do these things. And Taika Waititi is not afraid to embrace the past with his character. A lot of the art, a lot of the look from Thor reminded me of stuff from the late 70s, early 80s books. Right? Even to the point at the end when they're rolling credits, those were almost dang exact logo and font designs from those older days. And the colors, like Thor was always a very colorful book, right? It was a very vivid, colorful. He's always dealing with something in space. So you had interesting looking people. Of course, the Rainbow Bridge, everything. It was always very colorful. And I think he totally embraces that, and I love that design.
Yeah.
It's got a touch of nostalgia for me in that respect.
It's a fun movie. I don't know why people would have a big problem.
Oh, people like to hate on things, man. Like I said a million times, all of the world's information and knowledge is in one place, and we decide to bitch about things.
I like the goats or the sheep or
the screaming goats.
Goats, yeah.
Those like that shot of them taking the longboat with the screaming goats into the Rainbow Bridge. That's like a splash page. I swear from a comic somewhere. I've seen that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't mind it. I like I said, I like Christian Bale's. I like Christian Bale in general, but I like that he was in that, and I thought his storyline was great. Sad. So there was
So Gore the God Killer. And a lot of people were upset about that.
Villain.
Huh?
Not your typical villain. Had a redemption story.
Right.
And I'm not sure if that's how it is in the comics or not, but
now Gore's a little. I think I don't remember really much about his character. I know the design's a lot different, but
yeah,
they're not going to put.
He's more
they're not going to take Christian Bale and put him in a bunch of prosthetics. So,
but I guess that's the aim. If you have to sum up, so it's typically in comics, you have these villains that are going to be villains through the life of the comic. And when you have a movie version of them and you've chosen a villain, you have to sum up their lifeline, by the end of the movie, usually, unless they're going to continue being the villain in the next movie, right? So I think that was done well. You get the beginning with his daughter, so you see that human aspect of him, the corruption, and then the redemption towards the end, So I guess in the comic, probably he would just remain a villain throughout the life of the comic, right? Like you would have his origin story, but you'd never see the redemption part of his character in the comic version, but in a 2-hour movie, I guess, there has to be some kind of relief, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a narrative. You need a narrative. People just, I think I remember the character slightly being a little more sociopathic, a little more less of a story. It's the same idea that we kind of have a complaint about with Black Adam and them building this anti-hero story.
Right.
I think I remember, and this is barely remembering Gore as being a little more vicious. And that's another thing the internet's got a problem with it. They're all talking about how it's Gore the god kidnapper, not because they didn't see him really. You only saw him really kill one god.
Right. Well, that he killed multiple gods, but you don't see it.
Sure,
Right.
sure. You just didn't watch it, and again, it's time. I think that if they add another 30 minutes to that movie, you would have had a pretty dang.
What was
great
the
movie.
runtime on that? Almost 2 hours. It's over 2 hours, right?
It was no, it was right at
2 hours.
it was like 1 hour and 55 minutes. It was right at 2 hours.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know. It could be also be that just the fact that these movies are just coming out in droves. I mean, there's tons of superhero movies now, so that could be,
Right, but what
that was what it was for
made
me.
Marvel successful is the fact that they took their time.
Right.
And if they're going to start not taking their time, then we might have a problem.
Well, that's what I felt. That's what I felt like with this one. I like it because it was a new movie, and I like new movies, and it's got good acting, and it's got good special effects. So it's a movie that I would watch again. Not because it's the greatest movie in the world. It's just because it's not a horrible movie, and there's so many horrible movies out there. So and I get caught up. I like to go back to certain things. I'll go back to that. I'll watch that again. But that's the way it felt for me at this point, with there being, I don't know how many they have under their belt, but I'm sure it's close to 30 movies.
Oh, it's over that, man.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah,
it's almost just like, okay, especially because what is this, the fifth? No, this is the fourth Thor movie?
It's the fourth Thor movie.
Right, so I mean, it's like, okay, it's just, to me, that's what it was. It was like, okay, this is the fourth time seeing it. Yeah, it's a different story, but it's still Thor.
So you're growing tired of it.
I mean, just in general, I think just because there's so many coming out now, there's,
Okay.
But I like, like if there's a break in between. So like Captain America, they've summed him up now. The Avengers movie, he's made an appearance in so many. What, he had 3 of his own movies, and then tons of references to both Thor and Captain America. And they've kind of
Captain America
up.
First Avengers and a bunch of movies, yeah.
Yeah, there's like probably 6 movies, 7 movies with Thor in it.
No, more than that.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I might be interested in a new character. I like Shazam a lot. I know that's not Marvel, but that was a new character. So maybe something like that,
right?
What was it? The Mummy.
Moon Knight.
New character. I thought that was great. So, something like along those lines. Just coming up with a newer, maybe a memorable character, but maybe a newer movie. And
okay.
I'd probably be
I kind of feel differently about that than you do. I think yes, bring on new characters and expand the universe. Absolutely, but I think you stick with the horse that got you there, and because the beautiful thing about it, and this is coming from a comic book reader. This is coming from somebody that has put a lot of stake in these things, and I like the idea of being able to watch movies and having maybe Captain America pop in for a minute. That's really cool to me. That's really, really cool. Like having Thor, having Guardians of the Galaxy was in this one, right? And it's that's really neat because you have all these really cool characters you can play with, and they don't have to be the feature, And that's comic book type stuff, and that's comic book thinking, and that's
that's what
really,
I mean.
really
I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not scattered throughout. There's 2 movies, and then they make an appearance in this one, I think, and they make an appearance in Ragnarok, don't they?
No, they're not Ragnarok.
They're at the beginning of this movie.
They're in Infinity War.
War. Right. So they make little appearances. And so that's what I mean. It's like, so like I was saying about Captain America, he was in so many movies already, and they kind of handed the mantle off. Now, if they were 2 or 3 years from now were to come out with a new Captain America movie, I'd want to see that again. That's what I mean. It's like, okay. I would like a little bit of scattered, a little bit of time in between these things. And I guess there has been in Thor. I don't know. That's just how
there has been. I mean, we hadn't seen Ragnarok. That was a 3-year gap.
Yeah, I guess there is some time in between. I don't know. I guess
maybe more. Maybe more. Actually, more.
Thor's not my favorite character.
Yeah, that's true. You never have been a big Thor fan.
I mean, I did not like it. I liked it. Like I said, I'll watch it again. But maybe that's what people are talking about. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. What are the people saying?
I mean, again, it's the issue of people don't like things because they don't want to like things. That's what it is. But anyways, so let's talk about some fun facts about the movie. Like I said, the cool animation. The Guardians were in it. That's neat. The little girl in it. So Gore's daughter. Spoiler alert. Spoiler graphic. Go! Anyways, is Gore's daughter is Love in Love and Thunder, right? And I think that's where the character's going to go from now on. Love and Thunder will be this ragtag team. And I think that's cool. The character's played by Chris Hemsworth's daughter.
Which I kind of figured when I watched it because she had that Australian accent.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was actually his actual daughter. Until I know we were told later that it was, but I had
fruitcakes.
Yeah, I had that impression that was actually his daughter. So
yeah,
I know.
I dig that. I dig that story. I don't know. I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, I am kind of turning into this Marvel apologist. I really like everything they're doing. I know there's a lot of blowback from this current phase that we're in, and all the new characters and content that's thrown at us. But I've really liked Miss Marvel. I really liked so far. I've really liked the one episode I've watched. I've really liked She-Hulk.
Yeah,
I had my issues with Moon Knight. But I'm a diehard Moon Knight fan. Like, but that's probably my favorite Marvel character, ever.
I
had my issues with the show.
She-Hulk. You liked it?
Oh, so far I've liked it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You're another one out now?
It's comedy. It came out today. I haven't watched it yet. I might watch it when I go to bed. But
yeah,
it's comedy. It's very like they're leaning toward comedy and a lawyer show, and it's kind of fun that way.
Yeah, I liked it.
The first episode had a lot of Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get that every week, but I've really enjoyed that show. But I really like what Marvel's doing, and I like what they're setting up. Like I said, we showed a couple weeks ago. We showed the Wakanda Forever trailer. They're setting up huge things. When I mentioned Miss Marvel a couple weeks ago, and her mentioning mutation in the show, they're starting the mutants. It's happening. And so I'm really enthusiastic about where they're going. I think Love and Thunder was fun. I think it's kind of a cool spot. They left New Asgard and all this stuff, but I'm happy for it. I don't know. Just a little touch on that real quick. I didn't really explain myself very well, but the Wakanda Forever Namor situation. Namor is the first mutant that we've ever had in comic books. He was known as the first mutant.
He's a fish man.
So that's why it's a big situation.
He's a fish man or what?
Oh, he's a fish man, bro.
Yeah, fish head.
But he's older than Aquaman. He's one of the first four superhero comic characters: Human Torch, the robot one, and then there's Namor. But notoriously this sociopath. I don't want to say sociopath. That's a bad word for it, but this person that doesn't put much stake in human life because he's more worried about his own species.
Fish,
right? People. So, good character. What did we see for the after credit scene? Do you remember the after credit scene for Thor?
I had to get up and go. Oh, it was
right.
Zeus.
Oh, right. Yes, that's what I was looking at. It was Zeus. So,
I had to use the bathroom.
Obviously, Russell Crowe plays Zeus.
No, it was
loved that. I loved that. I love the fact that he didn't go Russell Crowe voice. He went like, hey, I'm Zeus. He's very Greek. I'm sorry, all Greek people. It's a horrible impression. My bad. But I love the fact that he did that and he leaned into it. But the after credits scene, we find out that Zeus is not dead. In fact, he is getting his son to go after Thor.
Right.
Hercules. Comic book Marvel comic book accurate Hercules costume too, with the whole bands everywhere. Very cool, dude. I was very stoked about that. It,
It was The Rock as Hercules.
Huh?
The Rock as Hercules.
No, it wasn't The Rock.
No,
it was. He was Hercules in this horrible movie, and it was god awful.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's find out who's playing him. Hold on a second.
I didn't recognize that guy.
I didn't either. Oh, I do know who this guy is. He's the dude that have you seen Ted Lasso?
I have not. No.
Oh, dude, you need to stop everything you're doing. If you're having like especially if you're having a bad day or something like that, you need to watch Ted Lasso. It's the most positive, life affirming show there ever was.
I heard it was good. What's that?
No, it's amazing.
Where do you watch that?
Huh?
Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV, but you can access it from certain situations that you have.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's really good. But the guy that plays Hercules in it, which I love the casting because he's awesome, is the grumpy older soccer player. So
okay,
Brett Goldstein is his name. So
okay.
Yeah, that's a cool casting. But I like that they went comic accurate with it. I'm sure the costume will change, but good on you, Marvel, for our first glimpse of him being completely comic accurate. So
yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, it was good. And then the second after credit scene was another not worth it one. After Multiverse of Madness, now we're starting to get this string of everybody sitting in the theater waiting for the second, the full credits to end and waiting for the second after credit scene, and they're giving us some baloney.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I had 2 sodas. So.
Oh yeah, so you were.
I had to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, you were going. But yeah, no, that was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Where do you rank this one? It was just the Thor. It's like the 4 Thor movies. Where you at?
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Sure. Okay, so Ragnarok's number 1 for me.
Yeah, I'd say so. And then I like the first one.
Okay.
I like this. I don't know. They're all pretty cool. It's hard to say. I just watched the Dark Elves one.
The Dark World.
Yeah.
I'm going Ragnarok, Love and Thunder, Thor, and then the Dark World.
Yeah.
That's my rating.
That's probably about right.
Right. Okay, well, I think we covered it. Anything you else want to mention about Thor, Love and Thunder?
No.
Oh yeah, the after credit scene. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was kind of whatever. It was Jane Foster ends up in Valhalla and meets Heimdall. So that's all it was.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll tell me that.
It was good. It was okay.
Idris Elba, right?
Yeah, it was Idris Elba. Sick dreadlock kind of ponytail thing.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Just doing Heimdall stuff. That's it. All right, so let's move on to the news. We got some trailers for you this week. I know the lack of trailers last week was a little rough, but here we go. Trailers. And let's go. All right, y'all. Welcome to the news this week. We've got a few things, nothing really crazy happening this week. We've had a few release ideas. There's a new Andor clip, which we're not going to watch today, but go check it out. It's pretty cool. It's Andor, and I don't mind seeing certain things.
September, right? I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's in September. It's in September, and yeah, so nothing really crazy. Pretty much, there's no what's his face? What's the Flash's name? Crazy McCrazerson.
Yeah.
He's not in the news this week, so it's slow. So that's slow. But we do have some trailers. Disney has announced their newest live action show, and we're gonna watch the trailer for you now. Let's do it.
get back. Pinocchio is running around loose without a conscience. Can you imagine the trouble he's gonna get into? Wouldn't want that on my conscience.
Everybody who's anybody wants to be a somebody.
And I want to be real.
Why on earth would you want to be real when you can be famous? Pinocchio should have been home by now.
He won't be a puppet anymore. That's for sure.
Pinocchio, be brave.
Truthful.
Not selfish.
You will always be my real boy.
A lie can really change a person, Pinocchio.
Oh, what's happening, Jiminy?
Looks like some sort of fairy magic. Kind of on the nose, if you ask me.
All right, it's going directly to Disney Plus. That's kind of neat, right? So
Yeah.
we'll be able to see that right away. What do you think, man? What do you think?
I prefer my Jiminy Cricket to be old.
Is Jiminy Cricket not old in that? How do you tell the age of a cricket?
I mean, the voice actor being old.
Who was the original voice actor for Pinocchio?
I don't know, but I get an old man vibe,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure that was who was that? That voice is very familiar.
Well, I heard Patton Oswalt in there. It's not Jiminy Cricket. I don't know. Let's see who's playing Jiminy Cricket.
I think it's Patton Oswalt.
I don't think it was. IMDb.com. Let's see. Pinocchio. Okay. It seems as if Jiminy Cricket is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I knew that name. That voice
Right.
was familiar.
Do we have a Patton Oswalt? I heard a Patton Oswalt too, but I don't know necessarily if we have one. It
I
does
think
not
that
look
was-
like we have one.
No, I think that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay. Okay. Pinocchio is voiced by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. I think it looks good. It looks fun, right? I mean, it's not, it's Pinocchio, man.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be a good time. I'm not gonna overthink anything about it, but it looks fun. So let's go for it. Okay. You ready for the next one? You're gonna love the next one, bro. All right, let's move on to the next trailer. You're gonna love this next one. Not much for trailer. It's really 17 seconds of something, but I saw it and I had to grab it for you to show you because I understand you're a fan. So let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all the Hellraisers, but that is one of the weirder of the horror movies.
Sure.
So
I've
we'll
always
have to
enjoyed
see
them.
what they do with that. Yeah, I mean, they're not horrible. It's just all about torture.
Yes.
Torturing bad people.
All right. Right. So this is cosmic, almost. Pinhead's almost a hero character, right?
Yeah, I mean, he goes after bad people, gives them what they deserve. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I'll check that out.
Okay. Well, I think it looks good. It didn't give us anything. It's October. It's anonymous. It's October 17th. I'm not sure if it's going to be a full-fledged reboot of this franchise or another sequel.
Was
Which
that a
how many
movie
sequels
or
are there?
series?
9?
That was a series or a movie?
I got movie out of it, but very well could be a series. I know Hulu has pushed into their own original content, own original films lately, so it can go either way on that one. But we'll find out October 17th. I'm sure we'll get a full trailer for it in the next couple weeks, but we'll see. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, this next one is we're gonna give it a shot. Like I said, we talked about this last week. We talked about the Lord the Rings of Power last week and the controversy between showrunners, cast, crew, and fans. I kind of ended the conversation, the rant, with promoting my favorite Lord of the Rings YouTuber, which is Nerd of the Rings, and his synopsis on the idea. And the idea is that we're going to let it speak for itself, right? What we've seen so far isn't very accurate to what we know of the Second Age. And it's very not Tolkien-esque. And I've watched this trailer that we're about to watch, and I will tell you that they're going to go in a direction. I think they're going in a direction, and I don't know if I like this direction or not. But I think they've made a decision, and I think this decision could hurt them. And we'll watch the trailer. Let's talk about it afterward.
Okay.
My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is not mine. Speaking true. Stand with me. Ours was no chance meeting. Or fate. Nor destiny. Ours was the work of something greater. Each of us, every one, must decide who we shall be. Whatever it was you did, be free of it. One day this will be your kingdom. Choose not the path of fear, but that of faith.
One thing we can do, better than any creature in all Middle Earth, we stay true to each other. In our hearts, even bigger in our feet. We can survive this. You and I.
Wait, no, we keep moving.
Why do you keep fighting?
There's a tempest in me.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
Without it, what might be?
Is that going to be a series?
Yeah, that's a series. The first season starts on September 2nd. I think it's set up for 5 seasons. I don't know. There's a lot with that. There's, because a lot of the dispute is a lot of people throwing, bigotry out and racist this, racist that, and all these things. But if they listen to the fans of Tolkien, they're not talking about these things. They're talking about that you have a story about the Second Age with hobbits, where they call them Harfeet, which is a type of hobbit. But the hobbits didn't exist in the Second Age. Tolkien was very clear that they were birthed in the Third Age. And then what I can only assume by that trailer, the guy in gray is Gandalf.
Wow.
And I guess, which I don't remember the lore. Again, check out Lord of the Rings, will give you all the history of Gandalf. But I don't believe that he came down to Middle Earth in the Second Age. But now you have hobbits, Harfeet, and Gandalf teaming up. So this whole idea that Galadriel, whatever, but I think that bothers me more. Is that they think so little about this fan base that we can't be okay that, hey, these things don't exist. Let's move on to these different characters or different creatures. They need to throw hobbits in there to make money.
Right.
So,
well, I think it's geared toward more casual fans.
Right, which is the wrong IP. This is the wrong IP to gear that toward anything. Because real Tolkien fans, if you don't want to hear from them, then you don't gear it toward them. Because these are not casual fans.
Right.
These are people that have read these books since they were children. And if you take a dip into the culture, it is a very loyal fan base. So if they wanted to find something that's casual, they needed to pick a different IP.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem for Amazon. This is going to be a big problem, I think. But, it is what it is. I'm going to watch it. I'd like for us to cover it on Previously On. But I think it's just going to be kind of upsetting, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'd like to cover it on Previously On and see a general reaction episode to episode. So, I don't know. What did you think of the trailer? As a casual fan, what did you think?
It looked okay. I mean, I'm not dying to see it or anything.
Right.
It looked all right. It didn't look bad. I mean, it looked well done, I guess.
Sure. I mean, it's a movie. They spent $1 billion on it, so hopefully, like per episode, per episode is like some ungodly $25 to $50 million per episode.
Jesus. Yeah. So I'm sure
that's a movie budget. So, I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna look beautiful. I'm sure it's gonna be all the glitz and glamour that you get from modern filmmaking with that kind of budget. But without the substance, without the soul of what J.R. Tolkien wrote about and what so many people love, it's hard to be, it's going to be hard to be a fan of this. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm taking the high road, the Nerd of the Rings high road, and saying I'll watch him and give it the benefit of the doubt. But right now, they have not shown me anything that really has me excited. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Let's stop complaining about silly movie things. I have the next two trailers. I have two more trailers for you. I'm going to play what I thought was the best trailer that I've seen in the last week, and then followed up what I think is actually the best trailer that I've seen in all week. So let's start with this one, and let's rock into a roll.
Harold, I don't know what you think you're doing. This is me. Got a dead white man in a box. Not even a casket. Doesn't even have a top on it. In a pine box of old wood. What do you think's gonna get in trouble here?
Do me a favor. Try to be optimistic. You don't.
I love that guitar work, man.
Now things starting a long time ago. So, two soldiers and a nurse found ourselves in
Amsterdam.
We formed a pact, and we swore to protect each other, no matter what. We find ourselves in a situation where we're accused of killing someone. You and Woodland fled the scene.
The killer pointed at us.
We didn't do anything. Why would you possibly think that was us? Well, there's not too many people that fit the description of a doctor looking for his eye on the ground with his black attorney.
Columbia Law School.
We need someone to help us and find the truth. My friend was killed because of something monstrous that he had seen.
This is all turning out to be a lot larger than any of us. You're gonna have to take my lead getting out of this. I had to stab a guy. I had to hit a lady with a brick one time.
What?
It's a long story, but with you two, it'll be a cakewalk.
These are dangerous times.
You be careful.
I'm about to do something that could cost me my life. The cuckoo's in the nest. The cuckoo's about to be trapped. Cuckoo?
This is one of the finest innovations from Zurich.
Removes all pain. Guys like me, we have to turn to booze, morphine. That can lead to addiction. Oh, that's fast. That's advanced.
Looks good.
Man, it looks really good, right? Great cast. Like an ensemble cast of just awesomes. It's got Christian Bale for you. I think that looked really good. I'm excited about that movie. I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be just fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fired up for that one.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. Like it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's move on to our final trailer of the evening. Now, this is the trailer that I thought has stole my week. I think it's really kind of brilliant. And I hope you all enjoy it.
Are you ready? What are we doing? We're gonna run for our lives. We're halfway home. Halfway?
I'm Chicky Donahue, and I am not supposed to be in Vietnam.
Hey, get your ass out of bed, you lazy bum. Look at you, sleeping your life away. Look at these scumbags. Hey, you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing your family.
Will these protesters not know that our soldiers see them on TV? I'd like to go over to Vietnam, track down all the boys in the neighborhood, and give them a biz.
I can do that.
Do what?
Bring a beer.
He's not serious. He's hammered. Look at him.
The man's stone sober. That's his fifth beer, man. Tops. I'm going to Vietnam, and I'm bringing a beer. Yeah. Hey, Chief, no chance you to ship head to Vietnam.
1700 hours.
Tonight? It's not going to be easy.
But I'm gonna show him that this country is still behind him.
You're gonna get yourself killed over that.
It's like you said, everyone's doing something.
I'm doing nothing. Smuggling beer into a war zone. That's not the smartest thing I've ever heard of. It's certainly not the worst either.
What if you start up here with Collins? Just came to deliver a Sudsy thank you card. And then, if you're still alive, you American?
New York. Thanks a lot.
You can hustle down to Dugan.
Chicken. I brought you beer.
You shouldn't be here. You think this is funny? I'm not doing this for laughs. I'm doing it for all you guys. Wrong time to go.
You know?
Yeah, you're dead. You don't get it, do you, chick? This isn't a John Wayne movie where you know the good guys are and you know the bad guys are. I didn't come all this way just to quit.
Somebody's got to be here to see what's going on. I want the truth told. For them. They're just kids.
You're gonna find out it's a lot harder to get out of a war than it is to get into one. I'm trying to show them that somebody back home is still behind it.
You got a good heart, Chicken. It's your brain is wired.
Who's this hands up? My next door neighbor. He brought me a beer. Hey.
Doesn't that look great?
Yeah, that's good.
It looks
Early
like it's gonna be funny. It's like you can tell by a little bit it's gonna have some heart. And I love a good Vietnam movie. I think it looks awesome. And yeah, what's the actor? What's his name?
I don't know.
Anyways, looks like he's a good actor, so it's fine. I think he's gonna be good, man. Bill Murray's in it, so it always makes it a little bit better. Makes anything a little bit better.
All right.
But yeah, man, that looks great. I don't know. That's the trailers for you. What do you think? What was your favorite trailer for this week?
Probably the second to last one.
The Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Okay, you're an Amsterdam guy. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the movie for next week, and let's get these kids out of here. All right, we're back. We're back with you. It's taken us 18 days to deliberate and argue, and Mike was really hell-bent about doing the Parent Trap again, but I stopped you guys. I stopped it for you. You're welcome. To thank me, you can like and subscribe to the show. That'd be really great for us. All right, so we do have a new movie for next week. We're going to go with a little old school for you guys because the show is about doing all kinds of movies, new and old, movies that we love. All right, so let's tell them, Mike, what we got.
Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So the movie, when originally released, was called The Raiders of the Lost Ark, but since there's now 3 of them, is Indiana Jones and The Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, Steven Spielberg, Industrial Light and Magic, a little George Lucas action. I think that is a great choice. I'm excited about it. I love this movie. It makes me feel like a kid when I watch it. It is brilliantly made. They do not make movies like this anymore. And I'm glad we're doing another Spielberg selection because he is my personal hero. I do this because of him. So, all right. So let's do it. Everybody go watch that movie. Before you go watch that movie, like I said before, please like and subscribe to the show. Share to your friends that you think would like to talk about movies and stuff. Please comment down there. If you don't agree with us, feel free to comment with us. Be respectful, but comment. Let's talk about it. Let's debate stuff. We're going to have a TikTok kind of started. We're going to have an Instagram short started. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. And we can't wait to see you next time. So, for the Tim and Mike Show, I'm Tim.
I'm Mike.
Go watch some movies.